let's talk about some guys who've been in the league a little longer, ready to make the next step or even a bounce back. This is definitely next step conversation because he only played last year. Jordan Love, who has quickly become one of the best quarterbacks. He's top 10 quarterback, Rick?
He's only got a half a year where he played like a top 10, so jury's still out, in my opinion. But if he plays like he did the second half of the season, then I can see him as a top 10.
All right, some other names on the list. Trevor Lawrence, he sort of regressed a little bit last year. There's some certainly reasons for it you can talk about. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow had the injury, and Kyler Murray, who was a little bit more efficient in 2022, but he had the ACL for the first half of 2023, and I thought he came back and played certainly well enough that Jonathan Gannon felt fine rolling with him, and that's exactly what they did. I'll ask you this. I don't remember who you wrote down, but I want to talk to you about Trevor in particular, because if you're starting a team and you could have Trevor, Jordan Love, or Tua, all guys looking for new deals, who you taking?
Trevor.
What? I think I'm taking Jordan and then Tua and then Trevor.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Trevor because that's who I wrote down.
Okay, yeah, go ahead with Trevor. And then when I find this list of complaints about Trevor, I'll read them to you.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's plenty of complaints about him, but the way he finished the year before, the big come from behind win against the LA Chargers in the playoffs, digressed last year for whatever reason, whether it's play calling, whether it was injury because he tried to play hurt. A lot of guys probably would have sat out with the injury that he had. But I think Doug Peterson is taking back over play calling. They added Gabe Davis. I think they, drafted Brian Thomas Jr., who will replace Calvin Ridley, I think, is a deep ball threat. So I think they've added some pieces on offense that will definitely help. The other key piece is Mitch Morse, who I think will be an upgrade at center as well, who they signed, I believe, from Buffalo. So I think that it's a big year for Jacksonville. It's a big year for Trevor. It's a big year for that staff down there. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to get Trevor back on track. But it's not because he doesn't have the ability to be one of the top flight quarterbacks in this league. But I give him a lot of credit for playing through what he had to play through last year with the injury, because a lot of guys may have shut it down, and he tried to keep his streak going on number of consecutive starts and gutted his way through it. So I think with some of the playmakers they've added on offense, and they're getting Kirk back, who's I think a really good slot player as well, that Trevor will take the biggest leap out of the people that you talked about.
So Randy Miller, the former GM of the Broncos, who I'm sure you know, wrote about this in The Athletic. Just talking in general terms, he wasn't dumping on Trevor, but just noting in terms of the quarterback deals that are coming down the pipe and how Trevor's going to get paid pretty soon here. He threw 14 interceptions, tied for fourth most in 2023, had 21 turnovers. That was third most behind Sam Howell and Josh Allen. Sam Howell's obviously been sent to Seattle, and Josh Allen is a wild ride, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the league. 10 of Lawrence's turnovers came on third down, the most in the NFL, and he converted just 38% of his third downs, which was the same as Des Ridder, Daniel Jones, and Josh Dobbs, and well behind Jalen Hurts, who's at 48%. So those things are concerning, but you're saying that maybe some of that's injury-related, maybe some of that's scheme-related. You're not worried long-term?
Nope. I think he'll have a bounce-back year.
Okay. I'm going to go with Jordan Love. You talked about he's only done it for half a season. He has one more year left on his sort of bridge, make-believe, what do you call it? The little deal that they gave him in Green Bay, the 2-year sort of bridge deal to figure out what they were doing. And now he's poised to be paid a lot of money. Are we still having the conversation with Tua and Trevor and Jordan that next man up means you're just making more than Joe Burrow, who currently makes 55?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be up that level. None of them have matched that, what Joe Burrow has done. Joe Burrow's gotten...
I agree, but usually the next quarterback up gets paid.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be in that
okay.
55. At the 50, yes. 55, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay any of them that.
Well, what if they said, okay, and then we'll see you later. You just
Well, then go play your rear end off, and I'll tag you next year.
that's not what they want to hear. All right, I'm going to go with Jordan Love. I think that team is poised. Talking about a team poised, and they are certainly playing into the year with more confidence than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Confidence doesn't necessarily roll it from one year to the next, but they got Jordan Morgan. We'll see where he ends up, the first round pick out of Arizona, whether it's left tackle or guard somewhere. We know about all their playmakers at wide receiver and tight end. They drafted Marshawn Lloyd to help in the running game now that Aaron Jones is gone. And I think the defense can get better as well. That division sort of quietly might end up being one of the best divisions in football. We'll find out.